Hey, this is Derek with IncomeSmasher. Today we're going to go over WordPress tutorial for beginners. We're going to go through the A to Z of everything, how to do posts, how to do pages, how to install plugins, what's the best way to optimize your WordPress so that it's fast. And if you stay to the end, I will review how to make your WordPress website fast. Because a lot of people, they'll start their WordPress website, they'll put a theme out there that they like, they'll get all these pictures, they'll get all these posts, and then they're not optimizing everything. They've got a theme that's just really bloated and it slows down their website, and then they got to get it faster, and then now they got to pick different theme and they got to change everything up, and they got to go back through and do all their pictures because they're all too big and they didn't optimize them when they first put them out. And then you got to get your site faster, because if your site's slow, Google's not going to rank you. So at the end, we're going to show you the best ways to really get the fastest speed out of your website, and the setup that we're going to walk through you today on how to set up WordPress, how to use WordPress will help you with that. So let's get started. And the first thing you're really going to look at is you've got to get your domain name. I use Namecheap. Once you get your domain name, everything that we talk about today, websites, everything we recommend that we use, will be in the description. You can go and click on it or, check it out. So all the links will be there. You don't have to write all this down. But if you want to use Namecheap, that's who we use to buy our domain name. Then when we do server or hosting, we use DreamHost. We also recommend Bluehost. Both of those are good. If you look here, how to install WordPress, once you get your domain name and you get your hosting paid for, then the next thing you want to do is go to the control panels of these websites. Usually they'll have a control panel or some kind of setup when you first get into your server, and they'll show you things like this, and then you'll see, hey, here's install WordPress. So what you do is you click here to install WordPress on this WordPress little icon if you're using DreamHost. And then this will pop up, hey, one-click installer. You select the domain you want to install WordPress on, leave the right field blank, and then install it for me now. Once you get that, you should get an email with username and password, or how to set up your username and password. Same thing with Bluehost. You go into Bluehost, there should be My Sites, click Create the Site, and then, Start Building button under WordPress. So there should be a download for WordPress. Same thing, you'll get username and password. Then you go in and it should look like this. What you'll want to pull up your URL for WordPress. It should be your domain name /wp-admin. And once you click on that, then you put in your username and password, and this is what you come to. This is your dashboard, right? I wouldn't worry about most of the things on the dashboard, this front end site. I don't really pay that much attention to it. But then here you have post, media. This is where all your pictures will be, your videos, different things that you add to your website. They'll be in the media section. Pages is for like About Us page, Contact Us page, Privacy page. You have comments if people are leaving comments. You can go and moderate there. I downloaded this plugin called WordPress Forms, so then they put this on the side. Appearance is where you do your themes, your widgets, your menus. I use Generate Press, so it has that in there. You've got your plugins that you'll use, users that you want to add. If you want to add users, like you want somebody to post, they wrote a blog for you, wrote a post for you, and you want to put that post in there and have them do it, you can give them user rights just to add posts. And then you have tools, settings, different general writing, reading, discussion. You can kind of go through those on your own. They're pretty self-explanatory. And then I've got some other things at the below here, SEO, Yoast, WordPress security. I'll go over those in the plugin. So let's start with post. Okay, so the first blog I have is how to quickly start a money-making blog. I just started this, building my website out the last couple weeks. I'm getting more and more posts right now, and I'll be adding more information. So, this will have a lot more information. But here's the first one, how to quickly start a money-making blog in 2021. has 4,100 words in it, so it's a big one. Really goes into detail. If you look here, where I showed you for the DreamHost WordPress install, for the WordPress install, this just goes into detail. This is my post on, how to start a blog. So how to pick a niche, how to choose a domain, but it's 4,000 words long. So it's really long. And you want to be really detailed. You want to add pictures. You want to, add links, show people that you really want them to learn how to do this and do it right. You can't write how to set up a WordPress blog with 500 words. That's just not going to work. That's not enough information for people to really set it up right. So when you set up a post, you go in here, you hit add new. This is what I did to set up this one. Then you'll come to this, so so what you want to do is copy your post, if it's in Word or in Google Docs, then you come in here, once you got it copied, and you just paste, and it'll paste it all in here. It'll look like the previous one we just showed you. Then once you got it, so let's say we want SEO tools. Say this one's going to be about SEO tools. I could hit publish, or I could hit save as draft. Over here, if you click this little thing, you will get this post and block. Has different information. If you want to make this public or private, if you want to post it now, or if you want to set your post for a later date. It gives you your permalink. So, when I hit update, it'll make this IncomeSmasher.com/SEO tools. Then you got categories if you want to start adding categories. Then tags, like I would put SEO tools here, SEO, keyword finder for SEO, different things like that for my tags. I'd only put like 3 or 4. You don't really need to add like 20 or anything. You can put your featured image. All you have to do is click it, and then you can just add an image. Like I use this one as my featured image for the last one. You click it, then you hit set featured image, and it just gets installed. And then if you look, once you get you get your post set up, everything good, you got your links, you got your media, you've got, your pictures, your videos, whatever you have. Then you want to come down here and you want to put your keywords. So my keyword for this one would be SEO tools. And then it's giving me a red, like, okay, that's not good enough, right? So then you got to put in your meta description, and then SEO analysis will also analyze your whole thing and tell you, hey, your meta description length isn't good enough, your text length isn't good enough, you've got sections with more than 300 words, and it kind of goes through and tells you what's wrong and what's right for your Yoast SEO. That's a plugin that I'll show you how to install in a few minutes. And that's how you set up your post. So I don't want to publish this one, so I'll just go back. It saves it as a draft. So I hit trash. Okay, so the next thing you want to set up is pages. Pages, very similar to post. As you can see, I got my home page, about us page, contact us page, review hosting page, privacy legal page, SEO tools, themes for WordPress and website builders. So if you look here, if we go in and edit front page, that's the one I have the most developed. I went in and set this one up. So I set up these buttons with hosting. These are pictures. And then what I did is I set up a link to them. And these links go to pages that I set up for hosting. This goes to the hosting page. For website builders, it goes to the website builder page. I didn't put a title because this is a home page. So if you look here, this is my home page. So I didn't want a title home right here. That if I would have put a home, if I put home right here where it says add title, it would have put it right here. And I don't want that. See? So I've got home, reviews, contact us, and blog up here. Those are my pages. And then down here, I've got to set up my footer, and I'll have privacy policy, legal, and some other pages down here. And then, now I'm setting up featured post. I've got to set up my sidebar. But this is where I set up this. And then I added 2 columns. So I added blocks, a block here, then a block here, and a block here, and a block here, and a block here. This one I added text, and this one I added a button. And then I'm going to put another blog post here, then one here, and then I'll keep going. So I had about 6, 7, 8 blog posts on my home page. So it's not a scrolling blog post like most of the themes are, where they're scrolling. So when you come, you just see the header like this, and then you just have blog posts kind of scroll down. I'm not setting mine up that way. I set mine up a little differently because I find this to be the best way to do it. You hit update once you update stuff, and then you should be good, but I didn't update anything. So I go back to my thing, and that's how you set up pages. Comments, self-explanatory. It's comment section. People comment on your stuff if you allow them to, and then you can moderate it. WordPress forms, that's a plugin. If you go to appearance, here's my generate press. So when I go into generate press, this is the pro version, and I can add these different things to do in here. And so I added a bunch of them. And then if you go to customize, this will take you into kind of the back end on how to set up different things within your website, right? Site identity, how you want the layout, the different colors you want to use. So I use like a green and a black, and so those are the colors I set up. Topography, primary navigation. So it shows you these different things. And then as you lay out colors, backgrounds, as you mess with things, it shows you over here what it does and what it doesn't do, so that you'll know, okay, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. Buttons, headings. So you can see all the different layouts in here, and they automatically have it as inherit. But you can change all this stuff. And I know it looks really confusing, but as you just work with it and you see, you try something out, see if you like it. If you don't like it, then you move it around. This was real big, and it was taking up room, and this was crunched up, and so I had to move this around, and I had to up the size, lower the size, and then finally I got it to where this fit perfectly. I can move this down here. I can move this to the left. Like, you can do all kinds of things. You've got your menus. Now, menus I don't usually mess with over here. I usually go back. Oh, and every time you're done, you want to save it at the bottom. So if you change stuff, just make sure you save it. But that's that for, whatever theme you have should have an area where you can go into, theme, customize, and kind of customize it. For widgets, usually widgets is more for a sidebar. So as you can see, my right sidebar has search, recent posts, recent comments. I don't like these, so I will get rid of these. And I'm going to add my own stuff to the sidebar. I'm probably going to add text. Right? So I added text, and then I can put my text here in my title. Categories I don't want. Archives I don't want. And this I don't want. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of my main products over here in the sidebar. And I don't want anything I don't want a left sidebar, so I put it in the right sidebar. But I don't want anything else. I just want to put product, one of my top products or something like that on that bar. That's a primo area, so we'll do that. Once you do that, this automatically saves. You don't have to go hit a save button, but then you can set up your sidebar to whatever you want. So if we look over here, see how it updated? I just have this. Then plugins, another major thing. Now this will really slow your website down if you just do tons of plugins. So limit the amount of plugins. First one I do, I use all-in-one WordPress security. Prevents people from, coming into my website and really attacking it. And as your site gets bigger, it will get attacked. I have Google Analytics code where I put my analytics code to go ahead and get that set up. You'll hit settings, and then you just put your code in, how to use plugin settings. So right here, I don't want to show you my code, so just use that. Then this is Generate Press Premium that I bought. I think it was like $50. I bought the premium. It just gives me more functionality, different things I could do, like that one page I showed you where all the different things that I added. I use scriptless social sharing buttons because when you put this on, you can go up and just, all these plugins, you can go up here and add new. And then you can put the name of this button into the search and it'll find it. So if I put add new and I put scriptless, then the scriptless social sharing button's there. I hit install now, but I already have it installed, so it won't show it. And then I hit activate, and that's all you do for plugins. All these will be in the description. I put all of these in there for you, so at least the name of them, so that you know which ones to get. I use Short Pixel Image Optimizer, W3 Total Cache. Both of these are used for speeding up my website. This is to optimize images. This is for speeding up the website. And then WP Forms, I use this for my contact forms page. If you go load this one, go into settings, it kind of tells you what you need to do, and you just set it up. You get a code, you put the code on your page, and there's your contact form. It's really easy. So if we go over to, and then Yoast for SEO. This was what I showed you before at the end of posts and pages, where you kind of go through and you set up all your different search engine optimization functions so that your page can get found on Google and it's SEO optimized. So if we go back over to pages, I don't know if I set up contact form yet, but let me look. Okay, so I haven't set it up yet, but with that WordPress form, what I would do is right here, I would put in a code. It's like brackets and it says WordPress forms, blah, blah, blah. So once you go into settings on that WordPress forms plugin, then you can set up a contact, and then you put in your email, and then anytime anybody wants to get a hold of you, they put in their name, their email, and then, whatever comments they have, and they send it to you, and then you moderate it, and it comes right to your email. So settings you can check out on your own. There's general writing, reading, discussion. Make sure your permalinks is set up right on here. So we want post name. See this? You need to make sure this is done, or this one, or it's like this. You want IncomeSmasher.com/post. Whatever your post name is. You don't want archives 123. You don't want 2021-02 sample post. You don't want any of this day and name. You don't want any of this junk. This will not help you in Google to get ranked on the first page of Google. This will. So make sure that is set up properly. And then really what I wanted to do for a backup, one thing I wanted to tell you about is backups. So I don't have a backup here because DreamHost helps me with backups, but you can go in here and add new. And if you wanted to get a backup, you could just come here and hit backup. Now, if you don't know which plugins, other plugins you might want, or you might want to do something different, and there's a plugin that might be able to do that, you can just do a Google search and find plugins that will help you do something you want to do. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of plugins. But like I said, limit how many you put on because it will slow you down. But here's Updraft Plus for WordPress backup plugin. Look, 4,000 people have rated it. 3 million users. This would be a good one to install and activate if you really need a backup, which I would suggest. The other thing on the plugins I wanted to tell you about is I told you at the end I was going to give you the best ways to optimize your website for speed, right? First way is to use Generate Press or Astra or Divi. So the themes that I have listed in the description, you got to use one of those. They're very fast. Now, there may be some other fast ones out there, but you got to do your research. These are the ones that I know about. But you want fast themes. You want optimized themes. You do not want these themes that are bloated with a bunch of code. That's the number one way to get your website fast. Get the right theme. Second way, you have to put on Short Pixel Image Optimizer. As your site grows and you have all these images, your site will get bogged down. And then last one is W3 Total Cache. Make sure you have it on there for speed. It helps cache your site so it's much faster. And those are the top ways to speed up your website to, get ranked on Google, because that is one of Google's premier ways to see if they want to rank you, is if your site's fast. And if your site's slow, you don't get ranked. All right, hit the like and subscribe button, and I hope you found this video informative.